Welcome, everybody, to Oceanside Library's Poetry Near and Afar. We're delighted to have Robert Dean join us from the hinterlands out in Kansas. We're just waiting for our New York poet to join us. The Oceanside Library takes great pride in doing this program, and we continue to do try to meet the needs of poets in many ways here on Long Island. Starting later this week, people will be getting invitations to come and join us for our April podcast. I'll be doing pretty much like 15-minute interviews. You'll get to do 2 or 3 poems, and we'll be displaying those, releasing them throughout the month of March, the month of April as National Poets Month. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Dean.
Thank you. It's always good to be reading it or even attending at one of these events. And I'm going to try the share screen thing here. It says host disabled screen sharing.
Okay. I didn't know you needed to do it right away. There you go. And there you go.
It's still okay. Now I think
Yep. Now you're all good.
Okay. All right, there we go. You should be seeing a photograph of a building with reflection on it of a train coming at you.
Not seeing it.
We see you.
No, Robert, we don't see it.
Oh, I need to hit this button.
You have to do share screen.
Yeah, I did that, and then there was another button I forgot I need to do.
Now we see.
You should
We
see
still
it.
don't see the image.
Okay.
Oh,
There
you
you go.
There it is. Got it.
Yes, now we see it.
Okay, good. These first 4, I'm doing a collaboration with a photographer from Pittsburgh named Jason Baldinger. A few of you may know him. He's also a poet, wonderful poet, but also takes these terrific, mostly black and white photographs of kind of out of the way places or rundown places. And he's pretty well known for doing that. So I asked him if I could write some of his pictures. He said yes. We're going to hopefully do a chapbook of them when we have enough. I'm going to read the 4 that have been published so far. These first 2 were published in the Frastic Review. And this one, his photographs are just the names of the places he took it. This is Hinton, West Virginia. And the poem that goes with this is called Heaven from Here. The train arrives, or not quite really, still belching, no squeal of iron on iron, no one there to hear it, platform empty. The sign of who we are backwards, perhaps we have been or will be or are passed by. History on display at the Ritz, an audience of ghost chairs, stacking metal and vinyl banquet on mosaic depression tile, floral pattern, long wilted like us. Are we in or out? We can't make up our minds. Maybe we'll turn left, maybe right. One arrow pointing us toward the train, the other in the direction it is headed, or was headed, or we remember it being headed, or would remember if we were still here, still performing, still listening for the whistle of time rolling in, the drum heartbeat of shako-plumed youth celebrating whatever it is we used to celebrate. Lamppost flags waving once again in the breeze that is surely locomoting in on the dark underbelly of sky. One lone tourist trying to capture us, ghost that he is and always will be. That's Jason himself, who's in the lower right corner of the photograph in the reflection. So that's the first one. The next one, if I can get out of this. Okay, I should just flip this and it should work. I got too many pages on my keyboard. Okay. Oh, I see. I'm going to have to do this. Okay, got to do hit share every time. Okay, this was also in Nick Frastic Review. You should be seeing an old style payphone.
Yes, now we are.
Okay, this was taken at a place called Walkersville, West Virginia. Again, from the Frastic Review, it's called The Hang Up. They hear it in Ohio, Pennsylvania, the cotton fields of the Llano Estacado, the gator lands of South Florida, the bottom of Crater Lake, tsunami warnings siren across the Pacific, 3 mountains in the Hindu Kush implode. Blood stains your connection to the civilization. You didn't know Bakelite could cut so deep. It's 1983 and she's told you don't call her again, no matter if you're lost in the woods in Hicksville or wherever, falling off a cliff. Sinking in quicksand, goodbye, good riddance, good God. Hasn't she had enough? Haven't you? And here you are, 4 decades, 3 divorces, 2 heart attacks, 6 grandkids later, a middle of nowhere return, sanity hanging by a thread. You wish you could pick it up, put it back together, punch the right number, say, I'm sorry. Wondering, isn't life funny how you found it again? How this thing is still here? Your anger, your hang up, if only you'd known. Leaves rustle, wind blusters in the open window. You start the car, head for the interstate. That lunatic asylum you saw in Weston. Shuttered now. Tourists and ghost hunters only. Poems of the lost tattooed on therapy room walls. You happen to have a crayon on you. In the rear view, the phone rings. Let's see if I can do this right this time. Should be sharing a staircase now.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
These next 2 appeared in Queens Quinterly. This one was taken at a place called Ladonia, Missouri, which seems to be a good spot for Jason. He's taken a lot of photographs there. It's called A Well-Lighted Place. We glance around for Orpheus, St. Peter, wonder if we are ascending to or descending from, find both lacking. Our own recognizance then, in the midst of our own shambles. Heaven, it seems, is not as advertised. Hell, if that's what our backs are against, is country undiscovered, and we shudder at the thought of vistas more desolate than the present. Is the passage as it closes in littered with the debris of mortality or eternity collapsing? We brace hands against walls, try to forestall what narrows. Have we lived in vain? Are we dying for nothing? The dismembered thing on the step, something we dropped, a burden yet to carry, a life incomplete. What does the eye bulging from the sheetrock know? The glow at the top beckons, though shadow prefigures. Darkness is threshold to light. Magnetosphere in flux, us waiting for us. A compass jams, water shatters. We tuck head against chest, draw in arms and legs. With a push of our own making, we expel from zygote way station into sagging gape of life and death, cleaving doubt as we go. This one was also published in McQueen's Quinterly. Jason took it at a town called Blue Mound, Illinois. The prose poem that goes with it is called Old Style. Excuse me. This is the place where Slim overlooked the peeling corner of your fake ID and poured you a cold one because you were from the neighborhood and Slim's brother worked with your dad at the ball bearing factory. And Tiny Spinetti's neo-realist cards were accepted currency all over town. This is the place with the best beef jerky and Cracker Jacks in the county, where Madge's pink skirt hiked up to mid-thigh when she wiped down the high stool tables. This is the place out back of which you and Albert Gutzman got into your one and only fight, the place where legend says John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd used to hang out between bank robberies. This is the place where guys in VFW jackets left their Harleys unchanged and refought Inchon, Heartbreak Ridge, and the hill called Pork Chop, while a few college boys home on break debated the location of a place called Vietnam, and old men in John Deere and AFL-CIO caps puffed Luckies, Winstons, and Camels, the air above them a skeptical haze of Khrushchev, Cuba, and Berlin. Flippers and kickers pinged and dinged from one wall, steel points thunked cork on another. The crack of a 9-ball break came from a side room, money rustled from hand to hand. Mysterious metal ribs across the street kept watch, holding their breath, poker chip towers marching into the vanishing point of history. The GMC out front is not the jalopy you remember, souped up by crazy Eddie Nitschke, and you wonder if you walk through the door right now with your chip-embedded plastic license and Wi-Fi earbuds, if you can still get an Old Style and a frosted mug, if Slim still remembers if the air is still drunk with glory.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this next one, that's it for Jason. This next one is by a poet and writer. Some of you may know Hetty Habra. She's also an excellent artist. She does these watercolor sketches, ink sketches, Japanese ink, she calls them. And I asked her if I could write to this one, and it's titled Woman and Locat. How do we say that? And this also appeared in the Ekphrastic Review. The poem is called She's Gone. Perhaps she will just eat them out of hand. It's spring after all, or some blurred line into another summer. Perhaps as she rubs her finger over the nipple of the stem and recalls from childhood or a place like it, the tastelessness of the skin, she will peel and discard the exterior, as she often considers doing with herself. Will sink her teeth directly into the sweet, juicy flesh, let it dribble down from the corner of her mouth into the Han blue folds of her dress. Let the sex of it return to the Chinese mother, though her first dalliance with such things remains secreted in the winged black lashes of her eye, the nape of her neck cautiously exposed beneath bound up volcanic rivers of obsidian hair, the surety of her jawline, the slight inquisitive parting of her lips, the turquoise pendant hiding the lobe of her ear, shielding the canal from whatever sounds tried to voyage this reverie of some prior life, some place, some pool of time in which we have never swum. The ovules, the stones, is she aware of the bitterness, the toxin, possible death? The way she holds them, though these double-edged fruit of the sword of dreams, her posture, the slight curve of her back, the smooth, inquisitive knowledge in her face says, yes, and I will chance the world upon them. And we wonder, what world is chance if it's ours? And if not, how do we get there? This one appeared in McQueen's Quinterly last year. This is a upper painting. Some of you may recognize it. It's called Rooms by the Sea from 1951. And the poem is called Home is the Sailor. This is one of my favorite Hopper paintings, by the way. This is the place where no one lives. The door is wide open, as everyone is welcome where no one lives. And no one expects everyone sooner or later. No one can be late or early, but you can't be, since no one keeps time here. You think about stripping down to your birthday suit, diving from the expectant sunlit threshold into the infinite deep blue sea, setting course for the unbounded far horizon. But the water is a bit choppy today, and no one stops you. Besides, that is the way you came in, and no one accompanied you on the speedboat, berthed conveniently beneath the house. You liked the speedboat, the wind in your hair, salt spray on your face, no one telling you what to do. Perhaps you will venture into the next room, the grass green carpet inviting a twin prism of sunlight falling across the frame of a picture that must mean something to someone if only someone were here. Instead, you pull up a chair from the void at your back and wait. Sooner or later, no one joins you. The redundancy of no one joining no one is not lost upon you. You wonder where you've been all your life. The lapping of waves shushes your thoughts, rocks the house gently, your eyes close. You welcome yourself home. Tony, how am I on time here?
You have about another 8 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to do a few then for my second book, which is an all-phrastic book. The name of the book was The Aerialist Will Not Be Performing, which I can't show you because I'm doing share screen, so I can't show you the cover. Anyway, this is a book of 42 works to 42 paintings by the Chicago artist Stephen Schrader, who I became very good friends with through the process of doing this book. And I just love his art. It's mostly all watercolor or oil on canvas. This one is a painting called Nothing Makes It Work. He's also a very good writer, by the way. And the poem I wrote to it is called Windmill. Better take a sip first. Windmill, kind of an obvious title, yes. You see it on the side of the graveled road, traveling north from Highway 4 towards the bones of a town called Hope. You know it, or believe you do, the wind passing its blessing hand over the spiky red-brown heads your grandfather used to call the hard red winter. And you thought at first he was talking about a season, only later you figured out he meant his life, your life, all the lives of all the people he fed, all of the hard red winter people everywhere. And you feel his hand, the ghost of it, passing over your brill-creamed crew cut, the red-brown spikes of it, the hard rubber ridges of a tire as tall as you, cutting into the seat of your Lee jeans. The chug of the John Deere's 4 cylinders pumping air with a rhythm you will only later associate with the perpetuation of life, the sowing of the next generation. Only today, in fact, just you and the Hyundai and the ghost of callous-handed hope. And you wonder who owns it now, when the roof fell in, the barn collapsed. What made you drive up here this particular day after all the leavings, lawyers, fingers not touching, lips not opening except to hurl hard red winter words? What do you expect to find here? The summer of your youth is long gone. It walked out the door with Ruth and Emily and Bobby. You turn on the wipers and the sky begins to cry. Another one from the book with Steve here. Steve's painting is called The Order of Things. The poem is called Aftermath. Just yesterday, it seems, the world breathed fire and gold, and we, arms interwoven, paused here. One bold blue October morning, gazed out at the changeling sugar maple with our initials so impulsively emblazoned. No caution taken for the burning of snows, the winter winds brittling flesh, piercing the bones with cold, sharp words on the order of all things. No thought for the shedding of skins, coats of many colors shrugged off. No thought that one of us would be ever on the outside looking in. Better perhaps that this glass be wholly empty instead of half full, beating tears of a phantom heart fast fading, awaiting only the kiss of December's lips to smother the flicker out, to usher in the season of last lost things. Listen, love skitters like a dead soul into the darkening deep, not even a sigh of spring to keep it company. Time for a couple more, Tony? 2 more?
Yep.
Okay, well, this one's a little more cheerful than the one I just read. Steve's painting is called All That Is Solid Melts in the Air, which is a quote he got from some philosopher. Yeah. The poem is called What I Remember. What I remember is the sun and how in those days we all lived within a stone's throw of it. What I remember is my mother's clear-nailed fingers clacking over the ivories of the upright piano and how the notes danced in the warm green irises of her eyes. What I remember is my father taking his father's handmade board and whittled wood pegs from the battered cigar box, which nevertheless was laden with wondrous treasure, shuffling dog-eared blue cards backed with winged Cupid riding a bicycle and explaining words like cribbage and his nibs, the difference between play and show. What I remember is the Sunday afternoon smell of pot roast and string beans and scalloped potatoes coming to a head in the butter-colored sanctorum of the kitchen. What I remember is tiny miles of railroad track on a big brown board in the basement and little brother's ecstatic hand claps when the train left the rails. What I remember is cats in the backyard and how much Dad did not resemble Catfish Hunter or Blue Moon Odom and how the light glinted off his fastball anyway. What I remember is Miss Buttonhoff's blonde hair and how we naughty little Lutheran schoolboys never minded staying after hours in 4th grade. What I remember is rounding the corner of the school building and running into a new kid and how, when we got into our 40s and 50s, we faded out of each other's lives. But mostly what I remember is all the houses we ever lived in and how they were all the same house because they were always our house. If you look closely, you can see it now, our house, just barely in frame, floating across the face of this one last cigar box treasure day, me waving from the porch, the sun still rising. And if you can see my cursor, that's what I took to be the house there. So one more, if I can, Tony, and then that's it. And this is again from the book with Steve. His painting is called In the Path of Totality 2. The poem is titled All That Is Solid, which, by the way, was the title of this painting from that I just read from. On this day we exist, and on this day only, the ghosts we have built loom into half-remembered skies, crowd us, hem us in, but they speak not for today, and tomorrow is deaf, and yesterday dead. We float, we drift, we shine sometimes, illumine worlds sometimes. On this day, this one day of us, what bright-tongued words do we have to offer? Can we speak fast enough to beat the nightfall, elucidate ourselves before we wink out, blaze our names across misted skies, mystery cities? Did we once live here? What do we know of being? Do we reach out and touch being? Does being reach out and touch us? Do we live in being or being in us? Are we in fact being? The ghosts whisper, we are you. We are the night and the day. We are the before and the after. We are. You cannot be without us. Oh, we would like to negate them, we would, but we have only this day and this day only. Refutation of ghosts is a tedious thing, and we float, we drift, we shine, we let no anchors drag us down. Now belongs to us, and it's all we have. We flare and flux, flux and flare. All that is solid melts as we pass. We are light, we are air, we will live forever. We are us in our own image, and on this day, this one day, we can be everything.
Mm.
And that's it. For me.
All right.
Thank you. Get out shared.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Robert. Yeah, everybody, you can unmute yourselves and give them a nice round of applause. That was absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right. Well, since we don't seem to have a second feature tonight, we're going to zip right into our open mic. There's 29 people in the room. There's a handful of people that have chosen not to read tonight, so it's a long list. And so I would remind you that the rule is to please no epic length poems. If you have a haiku, if you want to do a couple of them, that's fine. And that the feature is really the feature. And but we do enjoy having the tastings that we have, but that's what the open mics are, is a tasting, not a full meal. And so without any further ado, Mark States, you're up, and Robert Rubino, you're on deck.
Thank you very much, Tony. Time stands still. Time stands still sometimes because it's waiting for us to walk up to it and take a selfie with it. Time has an ego too, and wants its special moment shared, but lacks the hands to hold the camera now that most clocks and watches are digital. Old-fashioned clocks have run out of their time. Why is it saying that I need to unmute myself?
No, you're fine. We can
Oh,
hear
we
you.
hear you.
Okay, very good. My screen just said, unmute yourself, Mark, right in the middle. Time stands still sometimes because it too wants to wake up and smell the coffee. Time will stand behind you in line at Starbucks, hear from over your shoulder and peruse the word soup menu and tick, tick, tick its impatience along with you. As the front of the line customer finally settles on chocolate cookie crumble frappuccino, but then insists it gets mixed with the vanilla bean cream frappuccino and the strawberry cream frappuccino to have a true Neapolitan experience. Time will agree with you that this line is a monumental waste of time, as long as you call it Siri first and ask politely. Time stands still sometimes because it's upset that you're wasting it. So time puts you in a corner on a 5-minute timeout, punishing you with silence and forcing you to listen to your own heartbeats as body tightens with dramatic tension and ringing ears. Your brain attempts to fill the empty space with regrets that taste like bleach, burning but never clearing your insides. Time much prefers that you ignore it until you would get involved in something and lose all track of time. Then time wants your attention back. Time can be like Prince's mother. Time is never satisfied. And that, my friend, is what it sounds like when the alarm clock cries.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful images there.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, Robert, you're up, and Austin, you're on deck.
Thank you, Tony. Nothing but net. The basketball at center court of an empty gym extends an irresistible invitation. The old man enters, looks around, makes sure he's alone. He bounces the ball on the hardwood floor, simulating amplified drumbeat heartbeats, stimulating earfuls of echoing flashbacks. He stops at the top of the key. He stares at the metal hoop with its short skirt of bleached white netting, quite the first-class upgrade from the rusted, busted chain link nets of his playground youth 60 years ago. Firmly, tenderly, he holds the ball, his focus free from tension, decades melting into refreshing reverie. Hand-eye, mind's-eye orchestration, it's all born-again muscle memory now. Bent arm, snapping wrist, fingertips, tiptoes. His white men can't jump. He shoots. His shot rising, rotating, falling, spinning through time, through space, through a predestined parabolic arc. Swish. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Austin, you're up, and Christine, you're on deck.
Thank you, Tony. This is one of my Long Island animal poems. Facing a buck. You are keen to see me, what I'll do next. In a forest's intricate greenery, spruce trees sticking out their rifle arms, you station your blunt head to face my ribcage. I stand glaring at you, my stance showing an accurate calculation of my defense, but also emphasizing my vulnerability. From the distance, sounds of the sea, its wave clashes on autopilot, battles without end. We will hold these positions for a minute that resembles 2 hours. Heavy as perseverance, your antlers weigh you down. Too fearful to allow fear to show, I trot away in my imagination, but stay trained on you in the real life of this dell. For the first time, I understand the concept of eternity. Thank you.
Austin, thank you very much. Austin was one of the first poets at the gazebo. We always appreciate him. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so Christine, you're up, and Carol Finkel, you're on deck. And just wait 1 second. I got to find you. Hold on, Christine. I want to spotlight people. Half of it's behind my participants in meeting chat wall, and there we go. Go ahead. You're on.
Nothing to forgive. Epigram. Someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. It took me years to understand that this too was a gift. Mary Oliver. You could not despise her, even when you felt the searing sting on your young face, when the back of her hand sliced the air and connected below your eye on your delicate cheek. 4 red talon lines and the outline of her engagement ring raised a welt like a waxen seal seconds after they scraped your soft skin. It could have been a belt buckle, a baseball bat, or the silent treatment that broke your spirit. But it was none of these. Nothing was broken. The skin didn't bleed. Your childhood wasn't wretched. You grieved for the woman who could not understand her own pain. There was nothing to forgive. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Okay, I don't often write in rhyme. This is Carol Finkel.
Hang on a sec. Well, Carol, hold on. We'll get you in there. Just give us half a second. All right. So we're gonna have Carol is up, and then Dee Dee Spungen is on deck. And now Carol Finkel, go.
Okay, I don't usually write in rhyme, but here we go. COVID, oh COVID, please set me free. I'm never in person. I'm just a virtual attendee. Countless outings I have declined. Ways of avoiding crowds I always find. 2 shots and 3 boosters injected in my arm. This was to keep me safe from harm. When out, I wear an N95 mask. Washing hands constantly is a necessary task. Thanksgiving had filled me with glee. I would be together with my entire family, both my children and spouses and 4 grandchildren too. Times we are all together are always too few. Some food was ordered and my son was the host, many specialties and sweet potatoes to roast. We stayed on a line and then delivered some food when a terrible phone call changed our mood. A lady we'd been with just the day before brought COVID with her in through our door. She was originally fine. No symptoms did appear until the next day, and her test made it clear. Positive readings changed our plan. We could no longer gather with the rest of our clan. They sent happy pictures full of holiday cheer. They told us how they wished we were here. My son packed up assortments of food that they ate. My daughter and her family delivered the plate. They put it on the stoop and they walked a distance away. We spoke for a while, but knew they can't stay. Phone calls and pictures are our company too. My grandson and his wife did a lovely drive-through. The holiday is over and we're still feeling fine, but we can't test. There are 5 days of incubation time. On Monday, we will know if we beat this threat, another on Tuesday, and then we'll be set. 2 negative tests are what we require. To resume our lives is what we desire. P.S. We never got COVID.
Well, good on so many levels there. Thank you for that wonderful poem, and thank you. I'm glad to hear that you escaped as well. All right, so Dee Dee, you're up, and Marvin, you're on deck.
Thank you, Tony. Robert, that was just beautiful. Okay. Magnetic, radiant imagination. It grows dark. I search the blackness for moon. She is hiding behind clouds. They are hidden in the ebon sky. I grow dark. The search for self hidden behind the moon. There is a resting spot, a grassy moment of past lives, parading for my pleasure in the no light, a dance of selves. Darkness descends and silence grows louder, hidden in a pocket. On the dim stage, a dance of marionettes, the strings mercifully severed, a runaway circus. In the twilight, remembering sunlight. Absolute darkness cushions pain. Some memories are cold, don't deserve a seat. The curtain rises. Floodlights flash and blind. I take cover, gather the tinkling joy, begin to build a morning. Thanks.
Thank you. Wonderful as always. Thank you, Doreen. All right. Marvin, you're up, and JR, you're on deck.
We hear a lot today about mental problems in the younger set, anxiety and depression. And I tried to use my imagination to get into the head of a distressed child. So the poem is called Help Me. Deep within my closet darkness, a voice lives. Under my bed, another voice, or the same breathes between the sneaker and the crushed cardboard baseball game, sliding surely through balls of dust and the shirts I cannot wear because they are wrong. The colors don't go with my body, which doesn't go with my head, doesn't go with my hair, doesn't go with my life. Ha ha, life, ha. The monster waits at my door, closed but not tight enough. Particles of monster filter through wood, invade the space. My room's too small, life's too narrow. Only my bed is large enough to mistress me, to hold me in its white arms, to hide me in its white lips, to suck me into its white breast, to blanket me in its loving arms. Bed, you only are love, because you mummy me, dead away from my enemy, my monster, the voices, under the bed, in the closet, in the air, at the door, behind the window, grinning, leering, waiting, approaching, reaching. Bed, Mother God, help me.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Okay. JR, you're up, and Sister Joy, you're on deck.
Super. Thank you, Bob. That was wonderful. And I'm going to ask you to play Poetry Roulette. I will be reading from my new book, Dog Speak. This is 24 poems from a 24-hour poetry marathon. And I'm delighted to say I'm supporting the world's largest no-kill shelter, North Shore Animal League. And so, Bob, pick a number from 1 to 24. I can't read your lips. I'm trying. You have to unmute, sweetie.
You said Bob, right? Because we got
Yeah,
two
that's you. You are the man of the day. So yes, you get to pick
between
1 and 24.
23.
Okay. I was tired, but I this is one of my favorites, actually. Employment application. Name, the dog. Skills, retriever, fetch and fill with slobber, shred into cross-cut pieces. Landscaper, unearth anything that makes noise or smells bad. Digger, unplanter, uprooter. Demolition expert, any material, no job too big or small, no cleanup included. Bounty hunter, animal, vegetable, mineral, anything, anywhere delivered dead unless otherwise specified. Refrigerator, janitor, clean and clean out, but no kale, broccoli, spinach, nothing green. Greeter, kisses and free hugs, non-discriminatory, though cats are iffy. Education, still learning from every fire hydrant, tree, and bush in my neighborhood. No degree, mutt. Race, optional, often, especially down the stairs. Age, optional, in dog years or human years. Any allergies we should know about? Cats. Available shifts between naps and meals. Salary desired, bones, kibble, treats, toys, gas money for my humans. When can you start? After lunch, but I have to be home for dinner. I can't stay out after dark. References: Chance, Pebbles, Harvey, Opie, Snicker, Munchkin, Gumball, The Man Who Runs the Dog Park, and My Humans. Preferred contact method: whistle. Thank you.
And you did that after writing 22 hours straight?
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
very, very
It's
impressive.
a wonderful collection, I'm told. Thank
I
Uh,
like your sense of humor.
too
Thank you.
funny. All right, Sister Joy, you're up, and Alan, you're on deck.
Thank you. It's good to be back. I'm offering this poem in celebration of Women's History Month. And this is a poem that I wrote for my granddaughter, who has just been accepted to Spelman College.
Wonderful.
Step, reach, climb, claim. Bright with tomorrow's promise, burgeoning within you, dust will rise from your powerful stride. So step, graceful, sure-footed, proud and strong. History has waited long to hand you her keys, asking only that you remain true to the knowledge and honor handed you, asking that you step into your tomorrow, embracing and honoring dream and foundation of each elder and ancestor that sacrificed, prayed, made ways for your dance. So yes, stride, sway, graceful, proud as the willow with its deep roots, nourished by life, her sunshine and her storms. Remain strong in your conviction, honoring those who will follow, for each step connects them and you to ancestors who knew somehow this day would come. Even then, they celebrated and prayed, as do we, those who now step back and witness with awe as you step, reach, climb, and claim your destiny.
That's wonderful, and what a great gift. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right, having an evening here. All right, Alan, you're up, and let's see. I just want to make sure if somebody's in here. And Paula, you're on deck.
Thanks everybody. Thanks Bob for a great reading tonight. This poem's for the season. We're getting into mud season, and this is just about the only time of year I can read this. It's called A Dry Well. After all this rain, the water's settled in at the bowed end of the lot, where it always seems to find a home. Tool belt cinched, flashlight in hand, I wade in to clear the muck, struggle to pry the cap, which hasn't been dislodged for years, while the water provides a cold reminder against my boots of one more thing I can't manage to do. I take the auger to the drain, let the cable pay out, and nothing moves except the neighbor. An old guy with bad ticker I was sure would give out this winter, who's emerged from his wet grave to watch me fail again. Finally, he hollers, "It don't lead nowhere," as if I should have known all along what he's taken his sweet time to say. So this time, there's nothing to be done. No artery to peer into with a light. No catheter to push through. No stent to be set. No valve to replace. no ventricle to stir, no oracle to put your ear to and hear. Just wait till the rain lets up and the water finds a place below in the heart of where we can never see, but where we'll spend our time calling to those above all the ways they've managed to fail. It's a dry well, he shouts to me. Not that it matters what our failures are called.
Mm.
Thank you, Alan. Wonderful. Okay, so we have Paula is up and Robbie Nestor, you're on deck.
Am I visual?
There she is. How are you? There you go, our poet laureate for Nassau County.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I wrote this in 1995 in honor of a very important woman in my life. And again, National Women's History Month. So I thought this is a good one for today. Mother Earth. You were born with beautiful blue-green eyeballs and black bristled hair ripped from your country, countryless, cultureless, commonly ignored, slowly studying second language sentences in state schools, daydreaming, hallucinating about the lost horizons that were highlighted by the heavy, heavy colors and hues of Havana. You married, moved, mingled in the marketplaces, meeting places, moving houses, and membership committees, and managed to migrate to Midtown Manhattan. Your children choose to cherish you, cherishing chapters of their lives, of your life changing, cherub to chit child, changing. You are chief of staff, chief of state, chief master, chieftain. You are mother. You are Mother Earth. You are friend, four in hand friend, fostering foundations, foreshadowing forethought, and always for me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Paula. Appreciate that.
Honoring all women and mothers.
There you go. Okay, Robbie, you're up, and Kabir, you're on deck.
May I share a screen?
Sure. Hang on a second.
All right. Let me push.
Co-host.
Thank you. Somebody's trying to come in.
Don't worry. You don't worry about that. Just read your poem, please.
Okay. Dancing White Egret, after a photograph by Philippe Royer. Among the reeds, the great white egret raises his wings, and I understand at once why he's called great. Not just his size, the way his whole body aspires to flight. White shreds of cloud tinged with golden light, his feathers spread against the pale blue plate of sky, like the flesh of roasted barramundi. Every bit of him drives the eye up and up, his long neck muscular as an anaconda, white as the peeling branches of the eucalyptus, upraised needle of the beak, while his legs, jointed as a beetle's, connect him to the ground. He's fish and fowl, air and water, the melding of the elements, embodiment of joy. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Beautiful, great egret as well. All right. Thank you. And so that's Robbie. And Kabir, you're up, and Kenya, you're on deck.
Oh, hello. Before I forget, I will be one of the featured readers tomorrow at SpoFest. We start at 6 Central. I have a short poem here. By a pond. A swan took flight on rustling wings. The setting sun reflects upon a pond. Hear the evening silence widening. I sense the slow beat of my heart, and there is a sudden quiet present, spreading everywhere. The swan is gone. I ponder on my lingering earthly existence, slowly drawing to a close. Yet, here I am. What's keeping me here? This lonely heart, its persistence, my passion. Swan, where then did you go? A man stood up, turned around, left. Far from here, in the bustle of cities, he recalls how hope rose high one noon, how a far silence overwhelmed him, how a shadow slanted past his face, and his future swiftly winged away.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, see you all tomorrow.
That's great. Good luck
Bye.
tomorrow. I just
Yeah.
want to remind everybody, if you're not on our email list and you want to be, please throw your email into the chat. Margaret, I know. I checked. It says that it's sending it to you to the Gmail address. I will try adding them both again. Don't know what the problem is, but we'll figure it out. So Kenya, you're up, and Margaret, you're on deck. But Kenya, don't talk until I can find you. Up there you are. Okay. So Kenya, are you with us?
Okay, yes, I'm here. I'm with you all. I'm just pulling up the poem now.
Okay.
Okay, so this poem is called I Won't Be Here for Long. I don't make myself available anymore for people who don't make time for me. I realize how much value I add to people's lives that I just can't allow myself to be used like this. When they no longer need me, they put their phone on Do Not Disturb, and sometimes they even block me from calling them. My number was only unblocked when they need me to come running at their smallest call. I used to think about what I was doing wrong and why they didn't want to be my friend anymore. I realized that I do not need friends like that. Having a lot of company around does not mean that the company is of great quality. I realized that the time and effort that I was pouring into others could be used to pour into myself.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you
Excellent.
for allowing me to share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you and hear from you again. All right, Margaret, you're up, and Ro, you're on deck.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you to Bob for reading and sharing the artwork today. I'm reading a brand new poem that I'm working on called Not Acknowledged. Sometimes we throw away pieces of ourselves, and that was a quote by Dr. Pramila Venkateswaran. It's been some time since you've passed, years since we've spoken, and I'm still learning the life you led. On a name search, I found credentials, your TV and film resume, 84 items of accomplishment in 48 years. Your uncredited work makes me upset. Roles as key greensman, coordinator, local management, even acting parts when caterers and baristas are listed, scrolls that don't carry the vowels of your name. New Amsterdam, Oceanside, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Chinese Coffee, China Girl, The Michael J. Fox Show owe you a line in their credits. Kidnapped Forever, The Big C, and 10 episodes of The Affair have no excuse for unrecognizing your skills and time. Changing Lanes, Election, The Adventurers of Sebastian Cole, and all are all on the rocks and should hit the high town for leaving you faceless and ignored. Who's the top? So I can write to them and inform them of your passing. Put the Stepford wives to shame and Henry's Crime robbed you the unnoted and unclaimed fame you deserve, because even in death, you will gain the respect you do deserve.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see. Is Rose still with us? Yeah, she
Yes,
is. Okay, good. Ro,
Hi,
you're up,
Tony.
and Rosemary, you're on deck.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, everyone. Good evening. I wrote this on February 13th, but the first stanza I added this just now, and the last stanza 2 days ago. So here I go. It's called My Lover. As I begin reading this poem, I see him lurking outside my window in full regalia, tantalizingly near, but in reality very far. Thus, much as I may wish to, still making it impossible to touch him. He visits me every morning, not to mention the nights too, out in the open, not clandestinely, though mostly under the cover of darkness. I blush at every encounter. I just have to lift up my face to behold his ageless beauty. Seeing him, I too feel ageless. I'm his favorite. My sisters feel jealous. He peers through the window, the skylight, the transom. I do too, but from the inside. When we catch each other doing this, smiling, we wink at each other. He is on a 28-day yo-yo diet, I think. He goes from invisibly thin to a full-blown round balloon with puffed-up cheeks, with a look of earning on his face. I like his roly-poly look the best. When he blows those kisses at me, his cheeks puff up even more. I love it when he expands, hate it when he shrinks. If he could read my thoughts, he could sense my longing too, to be with him every day, not just part of a month. It hurts that men have stomped on my lover's face. Pock-marked as he might be, I doubt he still gave them permission. Then again, a kind guy, for the sake of scientific advancement, he might have. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ro.
Thank you.
All right. So Rosemary, you're up, and then Kathy, you're going to bring it home. And if I missed anybody other than those two, please let me know in the chat. And where are you, Rosemary? You're up. Rosemary? Going once. Okay, Kathy? Rosemary and Kathy. Okay. Well. All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for a wonderful evening. On behalf of the Oceanside Library, we thank you again. I will be sending around the Friends of the Oceanside Library are holding their annual breakfast on March 26th at the right at the library. But if you get a chance, I'll also send you a link. They're selling chances. You get your number, and you have a chance to win all 30 prizes. They pull one prize each day in April. Your number stays in all the time, so theoretically you could win 30 times. And it's everything from $25 gift certificates to a movie night at the library for you and 50 of your friends, arts and crafts program. And then the grand prize is $500. So I will send those links along, and any support that you can give to the Friends of the Library, we of course always appreciate, as they help us tremendously and have helped us a lot with some of our poetry programs in the past. So with that, without any further ado, thank you very much, everybody. It was a wonderful evening, and we'll